Good afternoon. I am Tina. This is To the Inner Wild. I didn't think I was going to be doing an extra on this, but apparently I think I'm supposed to ask for help. This is the most opportune time to do so. Where's my necklace? Shoot. Where are you, my dearie? I put it to charge and clear itself someplace else, so we shall use the alternate. What's meant to be is meant to be, and so it shall be. Okay? Okay. So, this is exclusive to my Love and Light crew. With however you practice, so that the only requirement is that you come from Love and Light, that the core value of ethics is in Love and Light. So, being so, we're flexible because the Hierophant can work in its reversal, in its non-traditional ways. That's the spirit of creative pursuits and conflict resolution. So whether you're a mentor or a lawmaker or a law enforcer, it still follows within those lines. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Excuse me. I have to light a candle here. Come on. Come on. You can do this. So these past few days have been... let's just go, hey, angels of light and love, we cannot forget them. The formal welcoming. Angels of love and light, I welcome you in to direct and protect these messages, my chakras, my auras, my space, this exclusive crew, and our families that also work in light and love. The rest will have to account for themselves and do their work. There's no freebies here, okay? So there's no discrimination when it comes to getting the work done, because we all have to interface what we have to interface with. Okay. We have to, okay, I'm just going to leave it at that, okay? I've been working on some much needed chores and some things that needed to be addressed for a very long time, and I've been strung along, I've noticed, because of the discoveries that I've made. Now, without divulging too much, okay, let's go ahead and invite the ancestors of light and love, spirit guides of the like, elementals of the like, ascended masters of the like, cosmic families of the like, elders of the like, and I think that just about covers it. If I'm missing anyone on the inner divine circle, please forgive me, but you are also included, and just make yourself known so that it helps me on the next run. Okay. A lot's been going on. Okay, so I want to go ahead and ask Spirit, whether or not you believe in any of these entities or all of them. I grew up with a Catholic background, and I haven't completely dismissed its value. I still practice within this the same confines. They're just not as constricted within its value system. How do I say it? It's just it's broadened within its context, okay? So I'm going to use the as above, so below. And I want to ask Spirit, because I feel like this is the time to ask for help. And I just want to ask for permission to see if, because there's an event that's going to come up. There's going to be, a string of events coming up. Okay, so what's coming up? 5 of Pentacles, kind of shown like that, kind of tilted. If I look at it flat, then it's an upright. If I look at it how it was presented, then it's in reversal, and it's showing the world, I'm not into the whole lack mindset thing, and so my gestures are going to show it. It's going to proclaim it. So what's in front of me is face down, and it is 9 of Wands. So it's standing ground. It is setting boundaries and making that known, that leave no stone unturned when it comes to standards and new terms and conditions. We talked about the amendments within my TikTok read on the intro. And that's what we're looking at. The amendments aren't to depict anything of like the flip-flop sort. This is more like, new information has come in, which has accentuated certain patterns that were kind of like more formed like a hypothesis with the patternings that we saw. So again, we study everything and we take everything into context. Now, anybody who's logical would kind of, if they're unhappy, they're going to dismiss it as like, oh, well, you're reading into everything. It's really quite simple. Or, within their favor, because they tend to double talk, these people who are unhappy, disgruntled with some atmosphere in their lives, so they project. What they say is, well, I work in data integrity and security and etc. So, these details do matter, So, I'm just kind of bringing that forth to people who are pretty easygoing and that are encountering such deceit, so that you can tune in more without having to address issues at face value. Okay? So there's that. Just validating it on behalf of the divine. My candle is going a little crazy. It's flashing, which tells me that there's yucky energy present. In fact, I feel a little nauseous right now, just tapping into that energy. Oh my gosh, my stomach just crumbled. Yeah, so we have intruders here, which, there's this DJ Qbert song where they go, intruders, and it's a good beat. It's a good, I don't know what you call it. Cut? I don't know. But anyway, oh yeah, and then he goes, surrender your troops or something like that. Anyway, I'll go ahead and link it. Anyway, there's today, okay, and moving forward, it's not all about resetting security measures and re-identifying and recalibrating and fortifying those standards, like integrating them. But it's also about living life, like I can't execute these what I would call responsibilities. My higher self would call them responsibilities, okay? It's about protecting your space. When you're talking about auric fields and etc., when you're speaking on a spiritual level, you can also take it down to a granular physical level. So it's basically the same thing. You're just taking care of yourself on a 360. And where are we going with that? There's just a lot going on. Yeah, when it comes to like executing these responsibilities, it's not about like having them being so cumbersome. In order to knock them down like more efficiently, especially with conflict resolution, creative conflict resolution, you have to be able to enjoy these things. It's not all about warring. It's more about moving forward in the right direction. So as you're moving forward through that transition, you're not going to carry on that extra baggage. You're going to let some of that go sequentially. And so it's not consequentially. You know what I'm talking about? So anyway, what fell between the legs is 3 of Wands and 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah. That's what it's all about. So knowing that your ships are going to come in, like it came in like right there, like at my knees and between my legs, and it's talking about like the ships coming in. Okay, your order from Amazon is on its way. You can see it. You can see it. You can track it with your own eyes. So when you're talking about spiritually speaking, your inner knowing, your third eye, is able to see the progress report. It's your like personal one-on-one with spirit, with your higher self. So that came in the background, okay? And what came before it is 8 of Pentacles in reverse. It's like you already put in the work. You don't need to do anymore, okay? You don't need to exhaust yourself with all of these things to do. You just kind of space them out, okay? So this period of transition, however imposed on term like drama, like drama infested proposed like proposition to you, like you don't need to take on that energy. The options are not just what's presented to you. Remember that. Don't just consume. What is it? We need to create a culture that isn't just about consumption. And I think that's the Geek X VRV. There's a song, I think it's Levitation. No, I can't remember what it was. But they're wonderful too. I mean, I had no idea how much music they had until it started like coming up on my list. So, okay, it's split up into 3 realms, okay? This is like the past, like kind of moving. It's just like a progress report. It dropped into the lap, and then this is what we project outwards, okay? And this directly, when people are at our door, okay, that we thought were familiar, they're basically strangers and strangers upon themselves, because it's like the flying monkeys are going to arrive on Saturday. So let me go ahead and ask Spirit. Okay, Spirit, how do you feel about this? That I ask for extra help. Like, I feel like this is already an implication of a yes, especially with what you've laid out here. So bottom of the deck is 9 of Cups in reverse. Yeah. So looking objectively at what's going to create happiness in the long run. Okay. So I don't want to have to like go through the measures of calling the cops. I don't have to deal with that portion when it comes to like the imposed threats and drama that is proposed into my life on Saturday morning. So, okay, my ex decided to send me a text, and he said, even though the last visit was to obtain some items and I was being recorded by a supposed friend, he's known for a long time, as well as I, and he's so needy for a friend, to forge a friendship, because like his family has gone to shit, and he's ostracized himself incredibly into his fascination with Bitcoin and this girl that was like a long lost love that he moreover imagined, and let's call her Mallory. Okay, so he's effed up on a lot of his relationships, and my ex has also like talked down upon him directly and behind his back. And so like it's his life lesson to understand that his neediness isn't firm grounds for building a stable relationship, even if it's just friendship, even if it's platonic. So, that's his life lesson to learn. If he wants to jump in, like, as a flying monkey to say, like, oh, like, I'm going to back my friend till the end, it's, you can see what his real weakness is. And, it's a shame that he refuses to see that in himself. But let him learn his life lesson. Let him learn it, okay? Let him learn it, okay? Because the trespass to me is also a trespass to our kids. Because of that selfish point of view that, like, I'm in it to, for, like, the way people excuse things to, like, validate their own personal needs. It's crazy. I want to say effing crazy. Crazy. So, so Spirit, Saturday, okay, that text was saying, okay, I'm going to move out all of my stuff, even though that previous visit on Sunday was saying, he said that he did not agree to the move out date, that this particular text was a direct implication and a safe assumption that he was agreeing to it. So you see the flip-floppiness? And so regardless, okay, the move out is going to happen, okay? And praise God for that. Amen. So many blessings have happened since then, and most of them were experiential. When we talk about like the rich and famous, their pursuits are all en route with their passions. Like that's the channel. That's how they channel the funds to it. It's passion oriented. However, with their creative pursuits, like what they excel at, what makes them extraordinary. And so you project that into the world, but that is for the singular attainment of peace, of well-being, of happiness. And so, and that is all really grounded within the experiential view. That's manifestation at the heart of it, what your soul takes on. And so, high value of the return, as it has been from day to day. I'm getting the chills. It's so good. But when we're looking at that, I just need to prepare, okay? And I want to ask Spirit how they feel about me asking for particular help in calling out certain particular names to the underground so that they can work their magic. Okay, well, this tapped it onto the two that was on my lap, and it's the crone of air. It's the queen, actually, maiden mother crone. It's the king of swords in reverse. Okay, and what fell upright was the 11. Okay, so that's strength or justice. Let me find out. Okay, it's being in touch. Okay, this is leadership. Okay, your index finger, the point at which you assert yourself. And there's more to it than that. When it comes to magic, your divine power, the symbology behind it, that carries over from culture to culture. So, oh gosh, I feel a lot of chills. Okay, so being that it's being grounded within like your immersion, like the baptismal effect of the dark night of the soul, as well as being completely dry and above ground. So it's like the, what do you call it? Michelangelo's painting. So it's being in touch with the divinity within you, but also within the immersion of your darkness, half immersed. So let me just double check. So 11, yes, in the as above. It's justice. I like it. Okay. So justice is standing upright. Okay. Oh, it is saying that, because I was worried like, oh, they're saying that it might be manipulation. That's just at face value. But they're saying, Tina, you're stronger than that. You're smarter than that. Everything is encrypted. Being that it fell, onto this part of it, the manifestation of what's coming through, and no work needs to be done by my hands. I can call for help in the underground, in the underworld. I can exercise my command because these are what people are waiting for. It's part of the revolution, what ignites it. And now the light is dancing now. It's not flickering, so this is good energy. I feel very touched. Like I feel like inside me, like about to cry, but like there's something more passionate behind that, and that, like, I don't know, maybe I just feel strength behind it, behind that hidden camaraderie. So I don't know what it is, but like I'm very empathic, so I take on certain characteristics, attributes, even like accents. I noticed when certain energies are near, certain lingo. And for other divination parties, just like don't get offended, like if you're borderline on me, because I'm picking up on your energy, so it's not of duplication. Like I don't know if I'm picking up on, like, if there's a sense of copying, like I know that there's no intent on my part to do that. Like if I ever do that, I always give acknowledgement to that form, and I always find out when I find out, and it's always like, if ever, during like in hindsight, and at that time I will acknowledge. So I'm just explaining. So, because I've been on, that end before. So, but that shows, like, there's a point of kinship and connectivity, because the allowance for it is not just like a blind date. This is more like family. When you live under the same household, you end up, with females, you end up developing the same cycle when you're in rhythm. So it's the same kind of thing when it comes to energetic, whether you're masculine or feminine, female or male, however you identify yourself, two spirit, that's. So anyway, I'm able to ask. Okay, so let me tell you. Okay, let me readjust this first. As the days begin to shorten, the sun god and the mother goddess return to the underworld. Pagans celebrate the bounty of the year as well as prepare for winter. Without modern food preservation techniques or grocery stores, storing enough food for winter had a different urgency, one that we probably cannot imagine. Survival was in the front of everyone's mind, and everyone had to work together. At this time of year, prisoners were released and disagreements were set aside. Like that. Okay. At Mabon, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, we focus on forgiveness and letting go of unhealthy thoughts and feelings that have settled in our hearts that can fester and turn poisonous. In this card, Demeter stays on the land for a little longer while her daughter Persephone, begins her journey to the underworld. There is a sense of gratitude for what has been given and a sense of responsibility for what will be required. This is a time to prepare our lives, both mundane and spiritual, for the cold, dark days to come. This divinatory meaning is a time of accounting, or rather accountability. Weighing out the consequences of your actions, making decisions now that will shape your future. Yeah, so when we're talking about like backpacking and survival techniques, we're not backpacking old baggage, okay? We're only putting energy into, which includes just assessing what really matters, the requirements of moving forward. So this is the most cost savvy when it comes to energy and time and all of that, and funds, when it comes to the transition. So this is the most economical approach when it comes to moving forward. And I love it because that's how it's been day to day. I haven't cut completely, like I haven't been super duper strict with everything, but the measures that I've taken with the kids have been so beautiful, like so beautiful, so solid. So even with that, okay, considering what we have to move forward with, that doesn't dilute like the energies behind having to ask for energies from the underground. I don't have like personal henchmen to help monitor certain things. Like I haven't. It was frowned upon to make those kind of relationships with males or even females that I've known for like a very long time, and so I've always had to keep a personal distance within, this relationship that I started with my ex when I was 20 years old. And so now that it's over 20 years now, it's like, that's half of my lifetime thus far, if not more. So it's time for a new approach. I'm seeing the blessings come from that. And I'm going to ask from the underworld, okay? Let me tell you this, okay? So I think part of the people that are going, part of the people that are going to come through on Saturday at 10:30 in the morning. That's what was claimed. I don't know if they're going to come earlier, but we'll find out. I would like to have your help within your own personal magic and power. Because I think part of that group will also be, I noticed that there were, okay, let me just backtrack for a second, because this is what I need more help in, when it comes to security measures, okay? So, one of the friends that hit on me, that will not take a personal accountability in it, which is so, like, despicable and disgusting, was what, like, immediately after the aftermath of his divorce, which was like, it was a huge train wreck. And it had I realized he was painting a picture on her destructive forces to exceed his. Like, he tried to come in scot-free clear. But I know what kind of abusive behavior happens within, like, those quiet doors in order for it to happen just like that and so drastic. So, including the reward of it and how much he had to pay her off. I can see, what kind of negotiations, what that implied. So anyway, on Father's Day of last year, I believe, when we planned a trip out to, like, get everybody together, and this was trying to, like, come in through, like, everything was just, we're trying to work through it together, the dissolution process, that's when there was some heavy drinking and some still hidden drinking when it came to my ex. But one of those nights, that guy tried to hit on me. I thought that he wanted to talk about like noticing his family and like the closeness of them, like going through, I think somebody passed away a few weeks before, and so noticing like the proximity of how they deal with the falling away family members. I thought it was that type of dynamic was being brought forth to me and discussing things, and so like even though it was weird to me, I just thought, okay, well, this is a norm to their family and they're going through a tough time, and just be kind of flexible when it comes to the sensitivities of others, especially if you've known these people just as long as you've known your ex. And so I just like took it with a grain of salt, like flexibility, until he made a move on me. And for almost a year, I kept that quiet because of the impact that drinking had in my ex's life, and how much in refusal and denial he was to anything that I, like, any of my input, anything that I said. So while he was like aspiring to get a cabin and do all of this stuff, like, okay, so I'm gonna do this is prospectively what I'm gonna do, this is prospectively what you're gonna do, this is kind of the arrangements that we're gonna have. So while he was trying to get talk to his friends about investing, I'm like, please do not talk to him about it. Like, he's someone that you really can't trust, and I'm really, really, I tried so hard, like, in his best interest, and like, after several instances of him being like, it was just gross. It was just freaking gross. But I realized that they work on the premise of bros before hoes. Not that I'm saying that I'm a hoe, but like, the way they treat females is very misogynistic, and it's disgusting, because I don't want to even answer the because, okay? So this dude, because he couldn't fuck me or like make out with me or whatever, because he couldn't score with me, and because he left a messy divorce, partially to his undoing, he got involved with the security measures here. And so he gave my ex the head start in manipulating through coding different areas of like the router, and like bugging certain technologies in place. So I know I have connections, being what I do is very unique, highly beneficial, but also very underground within its networks. I'm asking for help to for you, okay, to help me exercise your power accordingly when it comes to this character. I'm not going to say their full name, okay? It's very standard, but you'll know because you already know. You're trying to keep it quiet, but you already know my identity, even though I didn't divulge it. But like, I know, like, that you know my name. You know my ex's name. You probably know where he works or, all of that. And so therefore, you must know his common affiliations. So all I have to give you is his first name, okay? This person that used to work for the city of Irvine in high security, managing certain like traffic lights and all of that. The technology, that spectrum. Okay. So he's now, I think, an independent contractor for several, like, struggling supposedly with 2 jobs because of his misdoings, and that's part of his karma. Not saying that people who have 2 jobs, have heavy karma. Just saying, for him in particular, I know. and so his name is Matthew. Okay. So I think that's all that you need to know in order to work your magic. And this is for those that want to assist in light and love your particular magic, your exercise your power accordingly to help me on my path. And this shall accentuate your karma. Okay, so if we have any trespassers, intruders, that bullshit energy, that accentuated form is going to carry out within, the appropriate karma as well. So not everybody is going to be able to cash in on this event, but those contributors will be recognized accordingly. Okay, so Spirit, how do you feel about this? Do you have any other input? The path. So this is 9. That's the hermit, okay? And 15, the devil. Ooh, okay. So this is confrontation. This is looking at the dark side of, just facing it head on. When we go into dark night of the soul, it's not the approach of a fight, but confrontation on what needs to be addressed and satiated in a form of mediation. So it's fearlessness. Okay, it's yeah. And do you see how it's positioned towards the devil? It's like, I'm not afraid of you. So let's get some clarification on that, Spirit. Just to make sure, because I'm getting chills that like correct chills to say that this is correct. This is correct. That's insane. Okay. So this area of intimidation where he says, like, I'm going to have he says that he's going to have a lot of people, like a lot, to help him move out the rest of his stuff. It's like, it's almost like you're outnumbered, and I get to do whatever I want, like take whatever I want, etc. This implication, it's different. If you know what, let's go ahead and see what else Spirit has to say about this, okay? Okay. This hit my my precious swans. Okay. This is dust that dirt off your shoulder. Samhain. Okay, so this is the moon. This is full moon. This is full moon manifestations. I don't know when the next full moon is coming, but the new moon in is it Aquarius? Holy smokes, I don't remember. It's the 21st, okay? I feel like that. Okay, so this is full moon manifestations. It's staying grounded and humble with our vision. Do you see she has cards there and like a crystal ball, but also looking up at the moon and trusting what the universe has laid out, because we're reading the cards correctly, and it's all a matter, like you can only lead a horse. I'm getting chills. Yeah, you can only lead a horse to water, but it's like well, you can't make them drink it. So it's that ambiance, that point of resolution where you're told what you're told, okay, by the divine. They've laid it out. It's kind of almost surrounding you, encompassing you. So now it's up to you to trust in that, because the key factor is trust in here, okay, to manifest, okay, because when you trust and you walk that path, you are automatically protected. You see the column of light even in the darkness? Even though it leads to this, it's not even like leading to that. It's like we're addressing that, and the devil's waiting, okay? The drama is waiting. It's cooking up, it's simmering, whatever. But like we're actually moving past that. When we follow that light, when we trust, there is no obstruction, no distraction that can keep us from walking towards that light. This is like walking in the haunted mansion, right? And you're like, and then you run off, and take a tangent or whatever, you run back. But no, it's like, this little piggy, is what I'm hearing, went to market. And when you're starting up your own business, when you're starting up your new life, you're not going to go wee, wee, wee all the way home. If you're going to go wee, wee all the way home, home is over here. That new home. We can play, dead in essence when we're moving through. But that's what Spirit is saying. We carry along. We cannot be distracted by anything less than the light. So there's that. Okay. I think that's it. I have to move on to some other cards. But yes, I'm asking in particular for those seeking to accentuate, if this is your time, if you're looking for a time to jump in and exercise your own, power and divinity within, assisting me on path, if you want to maximize more than energetically speaking, or if are unable to do that in pentacle manifestations, that this is your pull is greatly considered as as an accelerant to the unfoldings of this new world that's about to come to fruition. And it's a plus for the all, whether or not the all feels like it is. Am I going to move on to another card? I feel like this is the last one. This is 17 in bulk. Oh, in bulk is coming. Okay. 17, is that the sun? Okay, wait, I'm confused here. Okay, so this is 18, this is 17. Yeah, because 19 is the star. So this is the sun. No. 17 is the star. This is the star. Yeah, there's that. Regardless whether this is the star or the sun, this is actually the star. Okay, so they're saying shine brightly. Like you have the life force of Tina. You have the life force of the sun. In darkness. So have full faith in this. Have that's it. No other words to this. So we're going to look at this. I know it's supposed to have 200 cards, but I think it's missing about 20 here. And I'm going to go ahead and see what it wants to say. Any additional details? Do you know how magnificent it was, that we got the caterpillar, or I got the caterpillar and the butterfly and the box. Like, that's insane. Some of the gifts that we receive, okay, are intangible, okay, but you know, it speaks to the soul. So I'm just going to rearrange the cards, okay? All right, so Spirit, what else? The Tower in reverse fell on this. That's crazy. So it's cleanup when we're going through that path. It says solid foundation, success with effort. So just consider it a done deal, because the devil is in you know, the underworld. So even as we walk that path of darkness, well, not of darkness, but of mediating within our, you know, our shadows, or dark night of the soul, that it's automatically creating solid foundations, and it's successful. Like have no fear when it comes to these other energies brought into it, because this proposition of drama isn't not necessarily one that you have to eat, you know. You don't have to consume that. It's showing you your power, Tina. So carriage, a journey, either physical or mental. Okay, so that came to the heart. It's a journey, either physical or mental, and that's accentuating that. So follow the path with your own heart. Okay, and then what fell on the Five of Pentacles in reverse was cracked cup, dissatisfaction with life. So how interesting that fell on the Five of Pentacles. So we're doing away with that, you know, the dissatisfaction. Even within the transition, we've got to enjoy it. You know, when you think about dancing, let's talk about ancestrally ignited. Because when you look at any ancestry, dancing has a very unique power within its movement, how it speaks to the spirit, how it speaks to the soul and the divinity of the commune. So when we're looking at that, and we're looking at switch steps, you know, like you know, ballroom dancing, how they do like tango, or that it takes two to tango, right? That unique way of movement without entanglement. It's just very harmonized. So when we're looking at that transition, those transitions of dance moves, like that's where, like, in accordance to harmonization through audio, the visualization of it is like when you drop the bass when it comes to like dubstep. So it's like that peak moment, the transition, you know, where it's like that's when everyone's like invested. So I think this is the optimal time to ask for help, and I will thank you in advance. Let's just put it that way, okay? Is there anything else, Spirit? And then we're going to pull from the Nile fortune telling deck. Okay, so this one is Turkey. Someone is behaving stupidly. Fell in between my legs. In reversal, here's a turkey. So this is the kind of person that we see in the underworld, or instead of it's chicken, like bok bok, like repeating almost like a sheep stance, this is more like gobble gobble. So they're more about materialization, like what do you call it? They're materialistic. So they're about consumption when you think of like gobble gobble, right? So these are very shallow people, the ones that are behaving stupidly. Spirit's just reminding me that, like, it's going to be dropped into your plate and you're going to know what it is. And so you shouldn't let it their temper tantrums like ignite your fuel. Like that's not, it's unworthy. Okay, so what is this? Parrot, someone will gossip about all of your secrets. Well, won't they? That's, again, you know, I shouldn't let that trouble me, because people are going to talk, people are going to abuse information. That shouldn't let me, that kind of spiritual fear mongering shouldn't influence me to ask for help, number one, to share my story, to help others transition within their own, you know, life occurrences. And so, like, when I achieve milestones, I know that I'm also helping others achieve milestones. Like somewhere in this world, and I know that it's more than a +1, is going through similar bouts. And even though it may not look like I have the head count here, that's all an illusion. Like I know that there are others out there that are benefiting from the knowledge that I'm able to download from the divine and speak with it to within their own divinity to act to their highest standing, to their highest benefit. So let these parrots mimic. Like these are copycats, really. So these are people who are trying to find any reason that they can to have any dirt to they're due their karma. And part of their karma is knowing that they're always going to be like a duplicate. Like, it's like same shit, different day kind of people, So these are the people that think that regurgitating information is going to give them like ladder climb. You gotta pity these people. I pity a fool. I pity a fool. As a parrot would say within their higher selves. Because, they repeat. Okay. All right. Okay, so what's up here? Okay. What? I'm supposed to look at what it opened up to. Boat. Money or property through an inheritance, winning, or windfall. Holy smokes. The jug opened it up to it. So, lighthearted, carefree time. This is what... You see? This is good. I'm getting, like, the trickle effect. That meeting in the middle where, what we talked about earlier, only tears of joy are allowed now. Okay, so when it comes to like that joy, that trickle effect where it comes from the top, when it trickles from you, like that energetic body of water, and it drips onto like the collective knowing, it's like that touch point is very much mediated. It's the same kind of energy. So that mirroring is also like a frequency of alchemy and temperance even. So what you dish out into the world will come back to you. And the top of the deck is bird flying. News is on the way. Like my thumb was starting to like push it out, and I was like, I didn't mean to do that, but okay. So news is on the way. Fantastic. And this boat thing, money or property through inheritance, winning or windfall. Jug. And then there's so many in here that I don't even know exist. So this is excellent. So like I can't share too much because like a lot of this stuff is really sacred, and I just love it. Like maybe in the future I'll share these things, but right now it's just the essentials. So bottom of the deck, target, a goal-oriented person. I love it. It's bullseye. It's dead center. And like it's a short arrow. So I don't know the dynamics when it comes to short arrow versus long arrow, but I get the I kind of think, excuse me, that if it's a short arrow, that it is lighter and is I don't know if it's like a benefit or if it's to show that you can still reach a distance and hit target even if you're at a disadvantage, like a shorter stick, if you get a shorter end of the stick, right? But if it's at an advantage for being a shorter stick, it's basically saying that you're given like a wand that is meant to give you that destiny. Tina, I love it. I love it. Now, Nile fortune telling deck, again with the fancy Jasper heart. Okay, so Spirit, anything else before we move into the bananagrams that we're going to, what else do you want to say from here? I love it. This is great. So, you know what, again, excuse me. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I did not mean for that. thank you to my supporters and my sponsors. I really do appreciate what you do. And your, you know what, just thank you. That's all I gotta say. All I gotta say. Oh, and I wish the blessings to be returned upon to you. Because this is a reciprocation, right? And I've said that, you know, in management, when I own my own business, you know, this is basically, energetically speaking, I do, that there's always going to be a return on investment. Always. You know, whether you act a fool or act in your highest standing. And, you know, I want it to be mutually beneficial. Those are the grounds that are set. That's basically the heart of my mission statement. So, you know, that goes within, like, even the bi-weekly paycheck form. That's how it's always been for me, even prior to spirituality. I know some of you have access to my LinkedIn account. I don't know how long I'm going to have it active for, but, you know, I do appreciate, you know, the network, the connections, and let's take it away. Let's see what else here. Okay, so we have 5 of Pentacles, success. This is the bottom, success in business ventures. So this is more like the 5 of Pentacles reiterated in reversal. I mean, well, 5 of Pentacles here, even on the other side, is still beneficial. So this is very positive when it comes to that iteration. Success in business ventures. Interesting. So we're going to lay that right there, but let's see if anything, if Spirit wants to say anything else. Okay, 7 of Pentacles, a check or paper money to be received. Very interesting. So 5 and 7, we have the 12 of Pentacles here. 12 is a very, like, auspicious number. It trumps, like, we're talking about the 12 disciples. I don't know. There's lots of the 12 months in a year. You know, you could just go on and on. Okay. Okay, an illness and health regained, and an unwise waste of your worldly goods. So those are together. I don't know why it's an unwise waste of your worldly goods. What is that? That illness and the waste of goods. Oh wait, what? Why is that open here? It's the 10 of Wands. A new appointment or investment. Okay. 10 of Wands is a heavy, like, energy, like it's a huge amount of responsibility, almost a burden. So a happy marriage or unexpected money, and a want of success in a trivial manner. Okay. So Spirit is also saying to not take on too much, because we started off with the as above, the 9 of Wands. So we stand our ground, but that extra wand, okay, where like, oh, we could use one more to, like, seal the deal, close up this, like, avenue of space so that we can step away for a second. So this one more, one up type of energy, there's like a 5 of Swords hidden energy here. That investment, that new, like, that extra thing is what could, you know, would be a waste. Yeah, because want of success in a trivial manner, and that would be that would account for an unwise waste of your worldly goods. Yeah. So when we're looking at alchemy and that touch point of what brings us joy, what we just talked about, that teardrop. I'm getting like massive attack, teardrop, whatever. Yeah. I don't know what the song says. I forgot, but that's one thing. Okay. Anything else, Spirit? Before I move into bananagrams. So we got a lot of major arcana here, and then so what opened up to 8 of Pentacles, a meeting about money matters, which is like this a court date coming up. So what it's depicting is 6 of Swords, uncertainty in your undertaking. Queen of Hearts or Cups, a true woman, a friend in need, and then a King of Cups, a good friend with a hasty temper. Okay. Okay. So I do have counterparts that are able to assist because they recognize me. Uncertainty in your undertakings. Okay. I do have to preface, like, I'm not gonna lead anybody on just so that I can gain, leverage. So if somebody's gonna assist with their pull, that doesn't automatically equate to them getting their way with me, because it's like, to me, like, I have to put it forth, okay? If I give into that kind of energy, if I accept that kind of exchange, it's more of a transactional value. So it's disrespecting the divinity within myself as well as this other person that's propositioning this. So if I sell out to that energy of, like, intimate affairs with someone, just because they're exercising their pull to help me benefit from a situation that would help with the scales of justice. If I accept that, that would be almost like, trading. It's like a parallel move. Okay, so it's like I'm exchanging bullshit for extra bullshit. So when you look at it in that manner, then you know that's valid. Okay, there's no skirting around that truth, so I'm just going to tell you up front. So when you do things for this benefit, the yield isn't self-interested. This is something greater than beyond ourselves. And so I certainly appreciate the understanding in advance, and the respect, as well as the assistance provided. Because what do you have pull for anyway if you can't use it, legitimately? Okay, bottom of the deck before I move on is Ace of Pentacles, a communication about money matters, a will. Okay. Yes. Okay. So this is, I don't know what else to say about this. But, like, there's a lot of pentacle energy here. Spiritual pentacle as well as material pentacle. So what do we get here? Okay, that was S and I. What is. And then an IDEA. We have a heads up coin on a quarter. PEDANA. That's not very many. I see spend. Spain. Pain. Depend. Deepen. Okay. Instead of like dependency or like reliance, I feel like we're looking at context, right? So depends. Like, it depends on this, we're looking at that. And I'm getting like incontinence almost. So it's knowing how to control what you dispel, like what's not good for you. So it's like exercising the muscles of your reproductive organs, right? Reproductive? I feel like that, yeah. So when you're doing that, it's like you're looking at fertility within its like intangible as well as the manifestation of physical form. So when you do that, when you're bringing something into life, when you're looking at fertility mode and you're doing like a maintenance check to battle like this thing of incontinence, I think that's how I'd say it, that we're looking at exercising that muscle to and getting ahead of that, like building behaviors that support fertility and self-dependency. Okay, so and also looking at, okay, we're not going to look at things face value. Well, it depends on this, you know what. So there's that. Okay. So I have 3 A's and 2 I's here. I see Ian as a name. I see Diane as well. You know, I know a Diane, okay, and as likable as she is, I noticed that, you know, she's created a relationship with my ex that is very, you know what, and to each their own, you know, and I'd like to think the best in her, but from what I've seen in the way my ex communicates about her, she is very much being used, if not is an equal user when it comes to self-validating techniques. And so I'm going to be hands off on this stuff. Remember, we're looking at standing our ground, not that extra wand of like determining this or that. Like that's beyond me. It's a shame if it were, you know, the lower route. All right, so 3 A's and 2 I's. Okay. So I don't know if a picture was painted for me as far as like her inclusion and her involvement in certain matters, if she was also manipulated within her standing, or if she's as much of a manipulator. So I don't know, but like I thought, since I see her presence here, that I might as well like pin that down. I see panda, so we have the spirit totem there of the yin and yang. There's other names in here. Like I see Dane. Ugh. I don't know what to say, man. Last time I touched on that energy, it was just, I could only hope, but you know, it takes, I know how long it took me on my journey, so, and how much work I did to see that transition. So, you know, I just, let me see if I see other names here. Oh, I see Snape, like Professor Snape. I also see Spend. Oh, I already told you Spend, okay. Okay. So I see like AAA, like when we're moving through things, that we can, you know, we have help, like we have reliance on help, that and that's our extra pause button, because we have, you know, we don't have that third line here, that extra pause button, that we don't have to overthink our situations, that, you know, instead of pausing that extra tone, that we can also rely on the help that we have beyond the veil. Okay. I feel like that's it here. I'm going to pull one more card here. Okay, so let's just separate it, and we have Mother of Air. So it's Queen of Swords in reverse. So I can, there's also feminines within the underground and underworld that can assist with this. So thank you very much, because you know that my history with females is a rugged path, but the divine feminine, in other terms, this is a different ballpark. It's different terminology, right? So anyway, thank you very much. Now that this reading is officially over, I close all portals that have been opened, sending back the energies with light and love and their appropriate karma due. Thank you. That's it for now.